hope you all are doing well. This is my fourth lecture of class 12. In this lecture, we will discuss about fertilization, which is the second event of sexual reproduction. Before starting this topic, I would like to revise those topics which I have covered in my last lecture. I have discussed the sexual reproduction in which two parents are involved for the formation of offspring with the fusion of male and female gamete. After that, we have discussed about the phases of sexual reproduction. There are total 3 phases of sexual reproduction, that is juvenile phase, reproductive phase, and last one is senescent phase. After the phases, we have discussed the events of sexual reproduction. There are 3 events, that is the pre-fertilization event, fertilization event, and the post-fertilization event. As I have discussed in my previous video, the pre-fertilization events. All the events which occurs prior to the fertilization, means prior to the fusion of gametes, are called as pre-fertilization events. It includes 2 processes, that is gametogenesis, how the gametes are formed, and second one is gamete transfer. In gametogenesis, we have studied 2 types of gametogenesis, that is spermatogenesis and oogenesis. The formation of sperm is known as spermatogenesis. Formation of ovum is known as oogenesis. After that, gamete transfer, how the gametes are transferred. Now, today we will discuss about fertilization. Okay, what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gamete to form the zygote. And zygote divides and differentiate to form an offspring is known as fertilization. Means one gamete comes from the male and one gamete comes from female. When both the gametes fuse together, then it forms the zygote. Gametes are haploid, as we already discussed in my previous video, and the zygote which is formed is diploid, means it has double set of chromosomes, 2n number of chromosomes. Okay. The process, one more thing, the process in which the offspring is formed without the fertilization, that process is known as parthenogenesis. Okay, what is fertilization? The process of fusion of male gamete and female gamete to form the zygote, diploid zygote, is known as fertilization, and the process in which offspring is formed without fertilization, that is known as parthenogenesis. Okay. Now the types of fertilization. Fertilization may be external or may be internal. Fertilization is of 2 types, external fertilization and internal fertilization. When the fertilization takes place or fertilization occurs outside the body of an individual in any medium, then it is known as external fertilization. When the fertilization occurs inside the body of an individual, inside the body of a female, then it is known as internal fertilization. Okay, external fertilization. Fertilization is also known as syngamy. Okay, then syngamy occurs outside the body of the organism. Large number of gametes are released in the surrounding medium. Mainly, medium is water. Example, bony fishes and amphibians. External fertilization is seen in case of bony fishes and amphibians. Okay. Next is internal fertilization. As I told you, syngamy, which occurs inside the body of an individual or body of an organism, then it is known as internal fertilization. Number of ova produced are less, but large number of male gametes are released and they are traveled towards the ovum. It is seen in birds and mammals, like here. Next event is post-fertilization events. The events of sexual reproduction which occurs after the formation of zygote, that are known as post-fertilization events. Okay, zygote is the vital link that ensures the continuity of species between organism of one generation and the organism of next generation. Okay, every sexual reproducing organism, including human beings, begin life as a single cell. That is zygote. Means all the sexually reproducing organisms start their life from a single cell, that is a zygote, which is diploid in nature. Okay. In the organism having external fertilization, as I told you, in external fertilization, zygote is formed in the external medium, and external medium is mostly water. Most of the time it is water. And in those having internal fertilization, zygote is formed inside the body of an organism. Okay. Next, in algae and fungi, zygote develops a thick wall resistant to desiccation and damage. In case of algae and fungi, zygote develops a protective covering around it. Okay, that is a thick wall. That is thick wall because of its protection. Okay, from desiccation and damage. When favorable condition comes, then it germinates after period of rest. Next, in the organism having haplontic life cycle, the organism having haplontic life cycle, in this case the zygote divides into a haploid spores. Zygote is formed, but zygote divides to form a spores which is haploid in nature, means spores having a half set of chromosome, n number of chromosomes. After that, these spores germinates or produce an offspring that are also haploid. Okay, means haploid spores forms in haploid individuals. Okay. Next is embryogenesis. It is also included in post-fertilization events. When once a zygote is formed, after that zygote becomes developed. Now the zygote divides and differentiates to form an embryo or finally into an offspring. When zygote divides and differentiates, then while in zygote cell division increase the number of cells in the zygote, while the cell differentiation helps group of cells to undergo certain modification to form a specialized organs and finally into an offspring. Okay, means when once a zygote is formed, it divides and again and forms a large number of cells. Means cell division increase in the number of cells within a zygote, and cell differentiation forms a specialized organ which develops into an offspring. Okay. Next is offspring or young ones may be oviparous, offspring or animals may be oviparous or viviparous. Okay. Development of zygote takes place outside the body of an individual, then it is known as oviparous. If the zygote development occurs just outside the body of an individual, means animals lay egg. After laying the egg, eggs are hatched out and then it forms into an individual. Then this type of individuals are known as oviparous animals. Means offsprings are produced from an egg just outside the body of an individual. Okay, it is seen in case of reptiles and birds. Next is viviparous. Development of zygote takes place or occurs inside the body of an individual. Okay, then it is known as viviparous. Okay, when the development of zygote occurs within the individual, within the female, and it produces the young ones, then it is known as viviparous animals. It is seen in case of humans, dog, horse, etc. Okay, clear? In flowering plant, zygote is formed inside the ovule. After fertilization, sepals, petals and stamens of flower fall down. Means in flowering plant, zygote is formed inside the ovule, and after fertilization, when fertilization occurs, after the fertilization, petals, sepals, stamens fall down. Why? Because the zygote develops at that time the zygote develops into an embryo and ovules into seeds. Okay. The ovary develops into fruits. As you all know, the ovary develops into fruits. which developed a thick wall called pericarp, and it is also called as protective layer. Okay, pericarp is protective in nature, okay, or protective in function, both are right. Next, after dispersal, seeds germinate under favorable conditions to produce new plants. When the seeds dispersed, then it germinates under the favorable conditions and forms a new plant. A few kinds of fruits showing seeds and protective pericarp. As you see in the figure, these are the figures of some fruits. In this fruits, you can see the seeds and pericarp also. Pericarp is a protective layer or protective in nature. You can see the pericarp and seeds in all the fruits. In this fruit, these are the seeds and this is a pericarp. In this fruit, these are the seeds and this is pericarp. In case of pea, these are the seeds and this is a pericarp. Okay. Now, this whole chart, this whole flow chart shows all the events of sexual reproduction, that is pre-fertilization events, fertilization events and post-fertilization events. Okay, just see here, this is male and female. Male gonad, that is testes, and female gonad, that is ovary. We get sperm from the testes and egg from ovaries. When these gametes, male gamete, that is sperm, and female gamete, that is egg, fuse together, then the zygote is formed. It is diploid in nature, that is, it has double set of chromosomes, that is 2 in number of chromosomes, while the gametes have n number of chromosomes, that is half set of chromosomes. When half set of chromosomes come from here and half set of chromosome comes from female, then it becomes a double set of chromosomes, that is 2 in number of chromosomes. That's why we can say that zygote is diploid in nature. After the zygote formation, embryo is formed, zygote develops and become an embryo, and after embryo develops into a fetus. Okay, so from here to here, gamete formation, this is pre-fertilization events. This is pre-fertilization events, that is gametogenesis. This is spermatogenesis and this is oogenesis. Okay, spermatogenesis, oogenesis. This is pre-fertilization event and this is fertilization event when zygote is formed. After the formation of zygote, it includes it refers as post-fertilization events. Okay, so in this way, the whole chart, whole flow chart shows all the events of sexual reproduction. Okay, so now in the last, that is home assignment. It is a very important part of the lecture. You have to complete it time to time. Okay, it includes total 4 questions. Question number 1, write the significance of fertilization in sexual reproduction. Okay. Question 2, why do only male gametes have a tail? Okay. Question 3, mother gives birth to a baby, but the baby has characters of both parents. How is this possible? Okay. Means mother gives rise to a baby, but baby have a characters of both parents. How is this possible? You have to answer this question. Next and the last question is question number 4. Distinguish between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. It also includes that why the sexual reproduction is more important in comparison to asexual reproduction. Okay, why the nature gives more importance to sexual reproduction in comparison to asexual reproduction. Okay, this question includes both the answers. So this is a very important question. Okay, now today I have completed chapter number 1. In next video, in next lecture, we will start chapter number 2. So I will meet in my next lecture. Okay, thank you.